Hey guys, there's Lily. They gave her a bold look. Poor thing. She doesn't look the same, I swear. Alright, so my first time at Quartzsite. So this will be part one. I gotta film these differently, like I can't do live events, and then I gotta post them later. So this will be part one of my new adventure at Quartzsite. It's huge. It's beautiful. I just woke up, so I have a bonfire area. I have, if I wanted to, I can go to the other bonfire areas. There's plenty of places to go, sorry. Yeah, this is it. For a little bit. I'm more of a city bumpkin, so I usually do my city dwelling, and I prefer that over anything like this. I do hope I have my chair clipped in. Hold on. I'm feeling the bottom of my rail. I'll have to fix it later. So I have this cute rocking chair thing. That's the van. So you can see I'm in a van. There's the van. Alright, so running from the abuser. Sorry, I'm a van lifer that is leaving my abuser. And I've been doing this for a while. I've been testing it out. I mostly learned how to navigate city areas, because it's just easier that way. And I'm going to try not to swing. I'm so sorry. Everybody's wishing me a Merry Christmas, so let me do this real quick. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys were able to see that or not. So I just put it on Do Not Disturb. I'm going to try my best to stay steady. I just want to rock, like this. But I'm happy. I'm not... I was scared last night. It was raining. And you can't see nothing at nighttime. Nothing. It's like completely dark at night. The stars, oh my god. They were so amazing, but I couldn't really capture them too well with the cell phone. And my camera equipment is still in Nevada in storage. So I am hoping that I will, be able to go back to Nevada soon so that I can go through my storage and put things in there I don't need and get things I do need. But I won't be staying in Nevada for a little while. I still have to deal with being way too close to my abuser, and I have to figure out how I'm supposed to keep my van, okay? Because this van is in both our names. Thank God it's in both our names. I mean, I still have the same rights as he does. But my issue is he may have more rights than I do. And it sucks because I put all my money, my heart and soul into this, and he did nothing. He didn't even like this van. He didn't care about the van. But, when your abuser just wants to take everything from you, that's just what they do. So I had no choice but to have his name on my stuff. I really had no choice. Sorry. I was working my way out of the relationship and trying to purchase something on your own, especially when you're trapped, and I mean financially trapped. Yeah, so it all started 2019 when I had my life-saving surgery, the first one, and it was a mesh, and I had to get it removed, and I had a tough time getting a regular surgeon to find this darn thing because I didn't realize how small it was. But it was floating around. It was doing its thing, causing nerve damage, cutting me up inside, causing me to have hernias. Well, of course, the courts and the judge and all them, they don't believe that that little thing could have done all those damages. But hey, what they don't understand is when you sit down, your belly squishes together. And how I already had surgery trying with a regular doctor to find it and pull it out. Couldn't do that. So I had to get a plastic surgeon. Well, my plastic surgeon was evil. Because, you know, they want us to come back for money, and they're worse than a mechanic. So you gotta be so careful. If you see that your plastic surgeon did something wrong, address it right away. Now, the only reason why I didn't address what he did that was wrong is because he was supposed to be my witness, and my attorneys never used him as a witness. What they did is they act like, I mean, now it's they have no choice, but in my time when I started my case, I had all the choice in the world. But they put me in an MDL. So basically, an MDL is just like a class action suit, but it's not a class action suit. It just puts you in a position where it doesn't matter what the payout is. You're not gonna get more than $25,000. Yeah, yeah, they screwed me. They screwed me real good. So I had nothing but bad luck. I had nothing but bad men around me. Nothing but. So the surgeon saves my life, sews me up all fucked up, and then also gives me nerve damage. But not in the front of me. The nerve damage is in my back. Now, all I wanted was a mummy tuck. Okay, it was like just to get rid of the extra skin that my twins left behind, and a little lipo, just so that it, looks nice. No, this motherfucker took me in like a fucking twin. Like a Barbie doll. Really bad. Okay. And then add it. And I don't know why he did this, but it did a fat transfer, which was never ordered, onto my upper lower back area. It's a fupa area above your ass. Now, let me tell you, the front of me, I looked hot, okay? It was like nice round out hips. It was beautiful. But the back of me, it looked like a fucking table. But not in the middle of me, like on each side, like a couple end tables with an extra crack. So I should have dealt with that, and I never did. And every day it got harder and harder for me to be mobile. Like, I couldn't run. Walking fast I couldn't do. Like, it just started getting harder and harder for me. But then it wasn't so shabby yet. Wasn't too shabby. No, it was still good. I can still exercise and stretch like a fool. I was still limber. Still looking hot. But in order to match that fupa up with my ass, I would need an ass job, okay? Or to take some of that fupa out. I don't know how to explain it to you, but now sometimes naturally people put on weight in that particular area, but that's very rare. And in that area is what connects your hips together, your motion, everything, your spine. Well, he had it way too much. So forever I will feel pain in my tailbone, okay, and my lower back. It's very strainful. Every single time I gotta pick something up or bend down to get something. And it got worse and worse and worse and worse. But what helped it get even more worse is, yeah, I put on some pounds. Okay. So that didn't make things any easier. But my abuser was using me to work, was forcing me into forced labor when I wasn't even ready, still healing. It's a 3-year to 4-year healing process, what I went through. But hold on. So I learned that the person I was with for 3 years was a monster. But let me tell you, I was working my way out. Then all of a sudden COVID comes through. Make things harder. Everybody's on lockdown. Nobody can go anywhere. I couldn't leave. I couldn't fucking leave. You're 2020 fucking... Are you fucking kidding me? I'm still healing from this shit that he put me through. I got a hilar hernia and everything because this motherfucker. Okay, so I don't know if I caught it or not. Because at the time, they didn't know at all for sure if it hit America. But let me tell you, I was coughing so bad. There was no boogies coming out of my nose, okay? There was no nothing. It was dry. It was like I was drying up. I was shriveling up. My lungs were shriveling up. But it made my gallbladder go. So that's what saved my life. Because now, if they would have pronounced me, like if I would have died, it would have been because of the gallbladder. They still would have never understood what this coughing was. Because they were new to it. Well, what saved my life was it going, okay? Was it busting, okay? So they pumped me up with all kinds of antibiotics and whatnot. No, that was 2 years of healing, okay? No joke. And I still have damages from all that coughing, because I was coughing since 2019, okay? But let's make things a lot worse. So when a normal surgeon cuts into you,
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
And they cut through your muscles or whatever, or cut your muscles apart, well, they don't sew that shit back. Now, let's go back to my plastic surgeon. What else was ordered was muscle reconstruction. Where all the hernias that went through those muscles, okay, were all sewed up and reconstructed. Well, after the gallbladder getting taken out, well, the upper part of it was separated. So the muscle isn't together anymore. So now when I started gaining the weight, it all was in the upper body. Not the lower body, not the lower belly. Only the upper belly. Only there. So now my body is changing in a way it never looked. It never looked like this ever. That doesn't help me with my abuser. Because now my abuser's upset that I don't look like I used to. I'm a little bit deformed. And I'm like, well, it seems like I only have evil men in my life. Evil. So, the more I tried to lose the weight, the worse I was getting. The more weaker my back spine was getting, to the point where it was even getting harder for my legs. However, my abuser was pushing me even harder, making sure I ate a certain way, even though he would just give me loads of beer, okay? But eat healthy. But here's the beer. Of course, I couldn't be around him without drinking, so I really couldn't. I needed a beer. So that doesn't help. That contribute to my weight gain. That contribute to the amount of pounds around the upper belly and no healing. So then was when I started developing the hiatal hernia, because he would still make me lift things I'm not allowed to lift or cannot lift. He did not like seeing me be on the computer too long. This is why I couldn't, make videos and stuff like that for my other channel that I have with true crime. I couldn't follow through with a lot of things I wanted to do, or even my magazine company. I couldn't do anything. So every single time I tried to figure out how I'm going to make my own living so I can leave this motherfucker, things just went right downhill. Straight downhill. So let's go back before I had to do the life insurance, my saving surgery. Well, I went to school to learn how to code, because I already kind of knew, but I learned how to make websites. But what I really wanted to do was learn how to be a software designer. So while I'm trying to figure out, going from because I was a photographer for, I would say, 25 years. And, or maybe less. Yeah, let me see. I started when I was 25, probably 20 years. And, I couldn't handle doing the photography in Nevada. I couldn't handle that. The driving around, pulling my equipment. I always had to hire somebody to help me with the equipment, to watch the equipment, to make sure that my equipment don't get stolen or somebody doesn't trip over and break my equipment, or me getting trafficked, because back then I looked good. Okay, I was looking at all that, and I kept running into individuals that were trying to nab me, so I felt unsafe to continue photography in Nevada, so I stopped. And plus, being used by other companies to help with photography, and then I get paid only when they get paid. And I never made a dime. And I would sit there and I would try that stupid shit. Alright, so that didn't work out. So that's why I went to school to do coding and to learn how to do websites. Now, the only reason why I did that is because at the time, people were making $5,000 to $10,000 making websites. All right, so I get done with the program. Also, not before my life-saving surgery. It's after the life-saving surgery. So I had to stop for, I would say, 6 months and then go back because I had that mesh surgery. So I go back to finish school, and that's kind of like, the stitches are good. They're you don't see the stitches no more. But so getting the date together, I can't. So I finish up all of my Adobe training so I can get my certification in all the Adobe products, because I already knew how to use every one of them. I put together Optum Films, and this is before COVID. It's the only thing that stopped it was because of this damn COVID. So I did Optum Films, plus I had the website service. Everything was good. But the website service started dwindling to where I wasn't able to charge any more than $2,000 because they were outsourcing. Most of the companies were outsourcing so that they can get it done for $1, but they didn't realize that they were going to be hooked for close to $5,000. It's just they didn't have to pay anything for the design. Um, they did most of the work. They also did the SEO. I mean, now I had to go and learn about SEO. Okay. So it was just getting worse and worse when it comes to outsourcing. So I'm like, okay, what is God telling me? So I can't do the photography here because, I'm going to get nabbed and I'm too hot for that. And I'm scared. So I'm not navigating or understanding how to navigate the strip. And, I know that's where I would make most of the money. I'm not understanding how to do that. So it's just Nevada was just hard. It was scary. Okay. So I started making posters for a lot of the companies, and that was the graphic design. Then from graphic design, I started doing the web design. Went to school for the coding, so I can also code the websites instead of just visual websites. I get out, finally graduate, and I couldn't even find work and save my damn life. Like, I would find 3 people, but they all don't have money to pay me. All right, so let me see. I did a job for somebody who is a stage handler, and they handle all the stage events in Nevada. And because of the COVID and I guess the death of his wife, he closed down the business. I did one for a restaurant, and he never followed through with the damn restaurant. I did one for was a lady for what do they call it? She's a social, not social service, but she's a life coach, and she didn't even know how to run her. I mean, I gave her so many tools, but she never would learn how to use the tools. She kept trying to get me to do it, but still never paid for her site. Like, she never finished paying for it. So my abuser, before the abuse gets even worse and worse, it's like, focus on this, focus on what we're doing here, because this is where the money is. This is where we're going to make the money. And he's not wrong, because he is the one that's pulling in the money. I'm not pulling in shit. No matter how hard I try, I ain't pulling in shit. So I figured to get out of his anger and his abuse, that if I change myself to better suit the relationship and the business, that maybe my relationship will get better. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because I'm the one that was falling apart, and I'm not able to contribute. So I decided, okay, let me do one of my other skills, because I can draw like a motherfucker. Okay. I used to, when I had my cleaning service, and yes, I had a cleaning service before I did photography. I also started a organizing closet service, where I would organize their place and organize their closets, so that it didn't look so like crowded. And so since I knew how to design and turn old furniture into new furniture, or get rid of get new furniture to fit in the places, like, I knew how to do that shit. So I was like, okay, you know what, let me get into graphics. So I started with oh god, what do they call it? I forgot the name of this program. it was introduced by van life, because I was also looking into van life, and I was very intrigued. So that's what I would watch on my free time, or when I'm working or sewing or doing something, I would watch it. And it was a program that helps you kind of design. It was really cool, but I was limited. I was limited to only the stuff that they gave us, and all you could do is just, it's kind of like you just kind of place it. And I didn't like the program too much, but it was not shabby. It still works. I still work with that program if I design for vans, because it's just easier and faster. But then I got into SketchUp, and who had introduced me to SketchUp was my van builder, the man that I chose to help me build out my van. I'm telling you, I had a lifetime here. And he was just opening up his business, and I was his first van. But he was money hungry. All he could think about was money, putting himself in, setting his business up so he could be in a stock market, and somebody can, raise stock on his business. Like, that's all he cared about. But he was making it seem like he was a better man, like he was humble. And like I said, I was surrounded by assholes. Oh, trust me, it gets worse. So the abuse keeps going on. We're going through so many employees because of his abuse. Not just them watching and not being able to do anything to help me, but also him turning it on them. That he would work them and not pay them what he promised. He'd pay him, but not what he promised. And then he would keep messing up the jobs. We would always be late. He would complain where he didn't need to complain. He was just verbally abusive. Not just towards me, but towards his employees. So we would go through so many different, individuals. Now you're probably thinking, oh, why didn't you get out of there then? Yeah. Financial guys. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to survive financially. Okay? And if I can't physically sit there and just work for CVS, when you work for some of these places, you have to be able to lift, and I know you're like, oh, well, they have people that are greeting at the door. Well, they save those for the seniors and the disabled. I mean, at the time I wasn't disabled, and I wasn't a senior. So, yeah, it got hard for me. So then I met somebody who showed me Blender and introduced me to Blender, and I thought that was awesome because it was free. Where SketchUp used to be free, to a point, of course, and it was never so crazy expensive, but now, oh my god. And with Blender, it's free. However, with Blender, it's much harder to design the rooms and stuff that, compared to AutoCAD and SketchUp, because that's more of a 3D movie maker, actually. But I made it work. Yes, I did. So I made enough money to buy the SketchUp for the year, and went back using the SketchUp. So with me designing for restaurants, our business started picking up. We started getting noticed, and it took the whole 5 years to get him on the service channel, which is for the casinos and the corporate offices. Well, they finally took notice of us. I know that if I didn't do what I did, Sylvia would just be your basic go-to guy for hey, can you mend my couch? Hey, can you fix my car seat? Because I'm the one that put him in, for the restaurants. And then I did the same thing for his dad. So within those 5 years, they both changed like his dad was doing this for I don't know how many years. I don't know how old the man is, probably like 40-something years being a upholster. That the last 5 years, they just stuck with restaurants and they made more money. They made more money than they did just, fixing couches or car seats. They did a way better job. So I influenced that. So now I know that I hit something good where I can make money. And I can make a lot of it. Because this industry is, it's new. People can still outsource this. So it's not like I'm going to make American money. I still have to compete with the assholes from another country who are cheaper. And so that's where I'm at. So I stayed a little bit more only because, well, actually I've left. It was the summertime. We went to California. And we enjoyed 3 months in California, right? Didn't we? And I was there for the 4th of July weekend and stuff like that. I only came back because he promised that if I helped him with a couple more jobs, he had no work, I swear to God, until I came back. If I help him with a couple more jobs, he'll help me pay off the van. He would take his name off the van. Yeah. I want to believe it, right? So I came back. I got the 2 jobs. He ends up spending most of the money for the first job, which is with Daniel, the pizza joint. And so I wasn't able to pay off the van. Now we have Mark. He's finishing that one up, and that's at Westgate. I'm hoping I'll be able to pay off the van. That's if he still gives me the money, which I doubt, because he is now trying to make it seem like all the transactions that we've done together, that I have stolen money from him. So again, like I said, don't trust nobody that you're with for a long time. I talked to our boss Mark about what happened, and he says, you know what, he's been married for 40 years. He says the reason why it lasts so long is because everything is separate. Like, she has the house, he has the business. She has no control over business, money, nothing. But she has control over whatever she does and the house. She wanted the house, he made sure she got the house. I said, that's nice. Wish I could find a man like that. Can't find that. Those days are over. I mean, this man, Mark, should be retired by now. But it's old money, old times. This is new times. Where, it's really hard to provide for each other like that now. Are you chilly? Are you cold? You're cold, aren't you? Yeah, I can give you the whole story. Alright, so I'm helping him out with. We finish off Daniel because he was so late with him. He was off by X amount of inches because he can't follow directions. He's really good with math, but the problem is he's addicted to substance, and addiction, it makes your brain lazy. He doesn't double check nothing. When he's cutting, he doesn't take consideration of the blade size, and he may be cutting at the point that he needs, but there's a blade size to it. And yeah, you should be cutting outside the line, not inside the line, right? But he's falling apart and falling apart and falling apart. It was worse when I left him. He had no work all summer. He had nothing. He was just a miserable, just going to sleep, getting drunk, getting worse and worse when it comes to the substance. So I'm like, okay, I only had 8,000 left to go. That's it. And he's never helped me with this vehicle. I met all the promises. I had to work for every dime he handed me, and it wasn't much. It would be like $100 here. Maybe I got 1,000. You know, but I had to do my own thing outside of the business, which was offer my like services for the website, which I still did. Offering well, I mean, I tried with the magazine. It's still in the air on that. Like, I still had to put that on hold. The designing part, it wasn't easy either to get the designing jobs because by the time I met the work, they were mostly looking for an upholsterer at the time. So my entry as a designer was at the wrong point in time. However, it did help us get the upholstery work. So I'm supposed to get in there before they contract people out. I'm supposed to become the contractor. So, like, I'm learning, you know? And I didn't want to come back. I didn't want him, he already ruined my birthday, and I didn't want him ruining Christmas. And I wasn't going to help him with Mark, the job with, not Mark, the finish up this free job he decided to do for Daniel. And that was shave down tables. Now, yeah, he'll do all the manual labor, but I gotta sweep the floor. Okay, I gotta cook, clean, cut his hair. No, I don't want to do that. I don't mind helping out, but damn, I'm sitting there helping you build the fucking boots. I'm helping you sew, cut fabric. I'm fucking tired. My body can't handle this anymore. He only had 2 weeks left to get Mark's job done, and I worked out an extension for him to get it done on the 26th. He's not even going to get done on the 26th. That's tomorrow. It's not going to be done. So he's still working on Mark's job, which was supposed to be done right before Christmas. He could not accomplish it. But I had to leave. I had to leave because he started in on me again. And sometimes he gets suicidal. And before he becomes suicidal, he becomes homicidal. So he would want to hurt me before he hurts himself. Well, he started a fight with me.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Hold on. That's my, what do you call it? I gotta get it to stop telling me I'm being recorded. Alright, so he asked me to cut some fabric for him, which I normally do, no big deal. He goes and lays down for a while. Oh, I'm not understanding why, because he sleeps a lot. Okay, he's not getting nothing done. He's late with work, and all he does is get high and go to sleep. So I cut it. He comes out, and he's like, "You cut it wrong." Da 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 da. And I'm like, okay. Number one, you marked it, and I finished it out. Wait, so how did I cut it wrong? And he basically set me up, but I wasn't the only. This isn't the only time he did that to. Like, this is the first time he did that to me, but he did that to one of his workers, where he would have him cut wood at a certain measurements, but then yell at him that he cut it wrong when he's the one that gave him those measurements. And I had to record everything this motherfucker was doing to this guy. So he did the same thing to me, but then he ended up hitting me. He ended up hitting my back really hard and my back of my head. So he has the shop all shut down. So it's, I gotta find a way to the door, okay? It's long like a garage, okay? And if I try to make a run for it or try to leave, he would pick up something heavier and hurt me. So I didn't try to run yet. I was trying to find reasons to get to the door. So then he goes, "Come over here, help me with this booth. It keeps freaking wiggling because the floor is uneven. And I need this floor leveled." Da, 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 da. So my job is to stand on the booth, use my body weight to hold the booth in place. Well, this motherfucker got all fucking mad at the booth, and he's swinging the booth back and forth. I'm not ready for it. My ass goes back to the floor. How did you do that? Lady, come here. Come on. This way. Girl, come on. This way. She got tangled up. She's so I went back pretty bad. And I was really lucky I didn't hit the saw table, okay? Because my head came that close. I could have died. So he didn't say sorry, nothing. He just said, "Get up, stop being pathetic." Then he starts back towards the bedroom, which is not really a bedroom. It's supposed to be an office. Excuse me. Yes, we live in the... I have been stuck living in the shop. So I darted for that damn door. Lily, so she's so sharp. She came running with me. She was already out the door waiting. I mean, like, you can only imagine. Every single time I got close to that door, Lily would run out that door. And this is every day, 24 hours a day. She is sharp. She don't fall asleep, nothing. She is waiting for me, get near that door, we're ready to go. But she knows when it's time to fucking get out of there. Now, the sad part is Lilo. He would do the same thing, but I couldn't take Lilo with me because I can't afford both dogs. It's too expensive. He eats more. And he pisses every like hour. I love the guy, but I love the little man. He is so mean to him. He hurts him. He acts like he loves him, but he doesn't. He's very rough with him. Like, he doesn't know how to be kind to the dogs. Not sure why. But I couldn't take him with me. The poor baby. So he runs under the table instead of running out the door this time. Because I would have took him if he ran out the door. Instead, he hid under the table at this point. He can't defend me. He can't do nothing for me. So Lily and we got the hell out of there. So he calls. He goes, "Hey, when you coming back? Because I need your help. I need you to work on this. I need you to do this. I need you." I was like, "I am not coming back." I go to the emergency room. because I'm having a tough time walking. I was in so much pain. And I was kind of concerned if I broke any bones. Okay, but I didn't break any bones. So this is good. And then he started saying if I don't come back, he's going to call the police on me and say I was stealing money from him. You know, all the times that I would go and put his check into the bank, take money out for him, or purchase stuff from Amazon for him, go grocery shopping for him, get the pet stuff for him, because he refuses to give me the cash. He only gives me the card. And whenever I said, hey, you know, I would rather you, you know, Zelle me or cash at me and I'll go get it with my own card. Well, he was like, why? You know, he would make me feel stupid. And I just knew that, because that's what his parents do. They set people up. They sit there and they'll make purchases and say they never done it and get money back from the bank. They've been doing that for a long time. Or when they buy boxes of wine, they would switch out the wine. After drinking it up, they would put cheap wine in there and take it back and say, this wine isn't right. Taste it, it's not right. And they would give them a whole new case of wine. So they were hustlers from the beginning. And they taught their son how to be a hustler. They didn't like me for the whole 9 years me and this man were together. At all. And somehow, I know that that's what they were doing, is they were coaching him to enslave me for work labor until I leave. So, I finally leave. He does what he does. The parents come in and they give him money. I knew that was going to happen. Every single time I leave, they take care of him. They pay his rent. They do everything for him. But if I'm there, they won't do nothing. So, but this time, because I wouldn't come back, again, like I said, he was scared of failing with Mark, that he used me so that he can extend the timeline. He went to the bank. I don't know what he did with the bank, but somehow he was able to get credited up to $600. That's what I was told. So I don't know what he claimed. I ain't got a clue how that went down, because I know that he's going to owe that bank $600. Because I was being as careful as I possibly could with him, you know, making me use his card for anything. So he's going to owe that money back. Either that or he lied and his parents did send him money. And he said, oh, yeah, I got credited this much. So he goes to the bank acting like, oh, my girlfriend was stealing money from me. You know, when you say girlfriend, people think it of as, oh, you just met this girl. Oh, it's Vegas. There's nothing but whores out here. Okay? Because really, there's nothing but whores. They don't think of it as, how long were you together? They don't ask those questions. So I couldn't trust them. And I should have stood my ground on that. But I was concerned about the cats. One of his cats just had kittens. He will not go to the store and make sure that they have kitty litter or food. That they would go without fucking food. And he didn't care. And he'll give him scraps that he makes from his for himself. And I'm like, that's not enough food. They're starving. The mama cat is so skinny. How is she supposed to produce the milk for those kittens? And I don't know how many kittens that this woman He won't even get her fixed. Sorry. I don't mean to be coughing like that. But he wouldn't even get this cat fixed. I don't know how many litters this girl's gone through that I had to take care of her and her litter. But then he went and called the police and said that I stole the van. That I stole the van. That's in both our names. But he didn't tell them it's in both our names. So he goes, my name's on that van. She stole the van. She just took it and left. Okay. Mind you, he goes and does all that. And still asks, hey, when am I coming back? I'm like, motherfucker. You went and again with your bank. This isn't the first time. This is actually the third time to your bank and claim me as a money thief. Okay? If I went to a judge and have a judge warrant how many times you have done that, do you realize how much money you're going to owe the bank? How many times you used my name to turn me into a criminal? Or to make it look like I'm a criminal? Alright, so then you go and call the police and say, I stole the van. Mind you, we both have the exact same rights to this van. Yeah, so I'm hoping that anybody that views this channel learns from my mistakes. And don't get yourself caught up. Because you can easily get trafficked in so many ways. And I'm not talking about just sex or anything like that. You can be labored trafficked. Now, let's say you're on Social Security or disability. They could kidnap you and make you pay for everything that they want. Don't think it can't happen. I had a roommate that did that to a girl, and they traveled on her money. She couldn't escape. They were just driving around, driving and driving. So that does happen. So, and it sucks. It sucks that there's men and women out there doing shit like that to people. I can't say that all men are bad, because it's equal. You just gotta be careful who you're meeting, how you're meeting these people. And you need to be more focused if they have any substance abuse problems. Like, I would start off with alcohol. Can they go without a drink? Can they be casual? And how often do they drink? I'd start there. Because other substance, they don't usually let you know about. You know, they wait a while, they can hide that shit. And I'm not trying to put down marijuana, at all. So, I mean, there's good uses for that, but if they're only doing it to get high and not for certain purposes or important purposes, then stay away from them. And another learning thing, just because you're with somebody for so long doesn't mean you can trust them. I thank God I never got married. I'd probably be in a better position if I was married. But so I'm going to enjoy my Christmas. I really should have went to go see my kid for Christmas, but I didn't know what their winter didn't even start. Like, it's weird that, because my kids said that their winter usually starts in November, and December is usually too cold and there's snow, and he goes, it's been in the 60s. yeah, really weird. I told him, I said, I told her, I said, look, if I would have known, I would have came to see you for Christmas, but I was concerned that I would freeze to death, or I'd get stuck in the snowstorm. Like, I was scared. But, you know, because, like, oh, you could have looked that up on a government site, and you could have found out what the weather was going to be. They only give you up to X amount of days, okay? They don't tell you, hey, the whole month's going to be great. No winter here. Come on here. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Frank. I was just telling my story. Yeah, I'm in the desert. I'm at my first time in Quartzsite. You'll have to rewind. I did 56 of what happened to me here. Not in Quartzsite, but what brought me to Quartzsite. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I just, like, I've been through, like, the worst so far. But I gotta tell you, this is beautiful. Scary as hell, but beautiful. Now, I have to go back to the city because I need a gym so I can get better. I have to, like, I know I can come up with different exercises while I'm here, but I don't, it's all the rocks, man. Like, I need to be at a gym. So I'm trying to research where I can go to for my medical services, rehabilitation. I'm not going to be able to do that here in Quartzsite. And when Quartzsite gets too busy, so does all the cool things to go see. Like, you know, and where to park. Where do you park if you're going to go to the tit place? I got to go. So I'm thinking of checking all that out. I did do laundry at that laundry place, and I know you're like, what laundry place? There's like two of them. There's only two. I would go for the one that has is the right next door to the rock store and the coffee joint. That one's bigger. It has the showers, and I'll even say it in the Google, laundry and shower. It's the only, because the other laundry place doesn't have showers, so I wouldn't go to that one. And I gotta go back there anyway, so I'll film that spot. For now, I'm enjoying Christmas here. I am not moving. I'm conserving on gas. And I may have to go back to Nevada for certain things. I already got my restraining order against my abuser, so but that's not stopping him. He's still trying to get people to find me. So I have to now go to, it's a, I forgot what it's called, but it deals with forced manual labor and escaping trafficking. So I'm going to be going through their program, and then I'll be getting an attorney, and I'm going after Silvio and the company for human trafficking. So yeah, which is my ex. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep my van and keep him from taking that van from me. So that's where I'm at right now. So if I do take a trip to Vegas, I just got to make sure he just doesn't see me or the van. And I have an advocate. I'll possibly get a social worker too on this. Do everything I'm supposed to do, of course.
Hi. You are currently being recorded.
Because I got to establish everything I'm going through, including trauma. And I'm going to make sure they get a warrant on his business bank account and personal account, so I can show proof that he was lying about my name 3 times with the bank, trying to get me in trouble with the bank. However, trying to get me in trouble with the law. This was his first time calling the law on me, which tells me that his parents were setting me up, because even the parents are like, well, you took money from my son. I'm like, how do I take money from your son when I work with your son? Your son doesn't even get money unless I bring in the work. And I'll be showing proof of that. I'll be subpoenaing the people that we worked for, a few of them, and employees that we had gone through and will never come back to work for Silvio. So I'm going to be subpoenaing, as many people as I can that had witnessed what I've been through, including the neighbors. The neighbors will be subpoenaed too. So it's going to be a while for me to get all this together and get it done. Let me see. Hi, Frank. Just do everything the right way. Documentation is worth more than words. That's right. So, but I have to get a warrant on any documentation on his end. I'll have my stuff, of course. But I still got to prove my innocence. So, should he take me to a small claims court, I still have to prove my innocence. However, I will also be subpoenaing the landlord, both landlords, because we have a new landlord, but I'll need the old landlord. And because then they can establish how long I was with him and that business. So it'll at least be established exactly. We should be on our 9th year, so exactly 8 years. And as long as I establish how long we've been together, even with with our neighbors, that will also explain why I was so comfortable in using his card to go food shopping, or to get cat food, cat litter, or even to go to the bank and put in his checks. So if he wants to sit there and get video of me taking money out, I've never ever took money out of his account. Only, I think, one time was $100 for him. Or when we cashed a check, I would take out $200 so he can pay somebody. I think I've done that. But with those videos, it's me putting in the check. So yeah, there's going to be something he thinks he's going to have against me. So I'm letting y'all know. But it'll explain why I would have been stupid and comfortable. I'm going to make sure that his business insurance pays for my medical rehabilitation. Not only will this program help me with this human trafficking claim, they're going to possibly add the claim also with the workers, because they went through abuse too. That's why they never came back. So yeah, I'm going to make sure that Silvio pays for all the horrible things he's done. Now, let me tell you, if you meet him, he's charming. He doesn't seem like he's the type. He seems like he's got a heart on his soul, and he's a good person, and you can party with him and chill with him. But as soon as you get to know him, just take that time. It only takes 2 weeks, really, to get to know him. But take that time, 30 minutes, maybe 30 days. You will see he is a monster, 100%. I say, I feel when you go to courthouse to fill out the paperwork, they will ask you if you want a free consultation. Take advantage of that. At least in San Diego, they do. Yeah, I will definitely take advantage of all that. But I won't be doing the court stuff yet. I have to go through whatever these programs are going to have me go through first, because they're the ones that are going to tell me, hey, you have a case. Hey, yes, we can help you establish all this. This is what we need. And then I can go for my attorneys. And I can find me an attorney that may be pro bono, because I'm going after a business, not personal. I'm going after the business. So I'm shutting him down. That is my only plan. And I'm not doing it out of revenge. Guys, all he's got to do is bring in another person off the street and human traffic them. And he will, he don't care if they're on drugs, guys. Because he pushes that on you. He doesn't need me. He could, you know how many homeless females and men are walking around in Nevada? He just picks the right one, the one that looks stronger, the one that looks nicer, and clean them up. Put them to work. You'll get the ones that are addicts, because I'm not an addict. He only got lucky with me because I had life-saving surgeries and some serious issues, and my decline in physical health. But I don't drink, I don't do drugs. But he's learned he can enslave them. So when I've left him, the first time, he moves in a homeless guy named John, puts him to work and everything, and he worked. I swear to God, he worked. He did all kinds of stuff, but he kept hoarding. He kept bringing in garbage, and kept trying to store the garbage in his shop. So that's the only reason why he stopped that. Another one is the one he still has right now. So I'm telling you, he looks sweet, he looks charming, he looks promising. He really does. But if you get to know him for real, he's a monster. So, well, I'm gonna go because I gotta pee. My baby is cold as heck, and he's cold out. Please leave me comments, guys. Advice, I could always take it. I know that I should have been smarter about things. I really should have. I should have been stronger when I had the time. And there are things that I could have done, but I didn't think of them at the time. At the time, I was depressed. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to live. I wasn't sure if I was just going to, just off myself. That's how bad it was. However, even though you think I made it out, I really didn't. Now, if I can switch from this to screenshot, I can show you that he's sitting there trying to hire people to kill me for him. So I have that documentation because at least they're on my side, and they're letting me know, and they're texting me like, hey, he's offering me this to out you. I mean, his own cousin told me his father offered him $10,000 to get rid of me. Yeah, his own dad $10,000. He goes, I could have $10,000 right now, and I could just get rid of you. But he's never done it. He's never done anything like that before. He doesn't have the heart to do something like that. He just doesn't have that in him. He looks like a kind of guy who does, but he said, I'll help hide the body, but I ain't going to touch the body. Yeah, that's... So if he's willing to talk about his dad, I mean, hiring him,
Hi.
that would be great.
Currently being recorded.
Okay, but that's what's up. So if you think I'm safe, I'm not really safe. Somebody eventually, once that money, will be desperate enough. And he also knows that drug addicts will do just about anything to get their fix. If they get dried out enough and they can't handle it, they'll do anything to get their fix. Alright, I gotta go.